We're used to taking class, we're used to boarding students, but this is like we are at the receiving end. Right. So I hope you know what this particular session is all about. We call it a faculty development program. Now I don't want you to think that it's going to be a class where I will talk and you drink and eat. That is not what is going to happen today. And I won't even consider you as students because I don't even have the right to consider you as students. Because I know that some of you might even be more experienced than I am. So I just want you to think of it like a, what you call an experience sharing session. Right. So I request maximum participation from you. And I am going to take the freedom of calling you out and asking you questions and making you speak, all that. Is that okay with you? Because I don't know where to draw the line. If it was students, I could have taken complete freedom. But you're all seniors, that's why I'm taking permission beforehand. Is it okay if the session is a little interactive, right? Yes or no? Yes. Alright, thank you so much for that. I'll just introduce myself. My name is Sita and I come from FACE, Focus Academy for Career Enhancement. I've been working with FACE for the past 3 years now. And I'm basically from Kerala. I just want to know whether there is anybody from Kerala here. Anyone? All of you are from Tamil Nadu? All of you. Alright, no issues. Just a question at the top. This entire day is split into 3 sessions. Alright. The first session is from 9 to 11 o'clock. Wherein it's already 9:25 now. So 9:25 to 11 o'clock is the first session. 11 to 11:15 you have a break. And 11:15 to 1:15 is the next session. 1:15 to 2 o'clock is your lunch break. And 2 to 4 is the last session. Okay. Now you have complete freedom in class. If you want breaks in between, you can ask me. Like you are seniors, right? We are all colleagues now. So at any point, if you think you need a break, because it's going to be a lot of presentations, a lot of PPT and stuff. So the moment you need a break, please do ask me. I'll give you a break. So shall we start the session? Yes. So the first topic or the first session that we are going to see right now is on professionalism. Right. See, the entire program is what? Faculty development program. I will have to share a little bit of class participation, interaction, all that. But before we do all that, we need to learn the basics of professionalism. Alright, now this particular word professionalism, it is more associated with the corporate setup. Like when we say professionalism, we think of corporate etiquettes, right? But it's equally important in teaching field as well, because we are all professionals, right? What is our profession? Teaching. Teaching is our profession. So it's equally applicable for as. So I'll start with grooming, because this is one particular thing, one particular area which people generally tend to overlook. Grooming, how we should dress, how we should talk to people, how we should even shake hands with somebody, how many times should we shake hands. All these little things we tend to overlook. Right? So we'll just brush up all those areas first. So with your permission, I'm going to start with grooming for men. Now I can see that all of you are already very well groomed. Right? So there is only very little that I have to remind you as such. So I'll do one thing, I'm just going to throw a lot of questions at you, just answer me. Right? When you talk about grooming for men, what is a professional attire? What is a professional dress for a man? Correct, exactly. What is a formal clothing? What makes a formal attire? Shirts and pants, as simple as that. Now what shirts? Are half sleeves formal? Half sleeve shirts are formal? No, half sleeve shirts are not formal. Now I understand that inside this particular college you might have the freedom to wear half sleeves. It's okay. But I am talking about a complete corporate setup, the most formal kind of clothing. Alright. So half sleeves are not formal, full sleeve shirts and trousers or pants are formal. Now let's talk about shirts. Are checks formal? Check shirts, are they formal? No, check shirts are not formal. But very small checks are formal. You can have these shirts with very small checks. I think some of you are actually wearing it. Those shirts are formal. What about stripes? Striped shirts. Yes, striped shirts are formal. But these stripes, very thick striped shirts are not formal. What about plain shirts? Obviously, plain shirts are formal. Now there is only one thing that you need to remember, that is the color of your shirt and the color of your trousers will have to complement each other. As in, if it's a light colored shirt, your trousers have to be dark colored and vice versa. Now dark does not mean dark red. We know that it has to be a neutral color like black or brown or something like that. Okay. Now coming back to here, your belt and your shoes. What is the one thing that we have to remember when it comes to your belt and your shoes? Exactly the same color. Yes, if you're wearing black color shoes, it means you have to wear black color belt. Brown shoes now, brown color belt. Okay. And again, I don't have to tell you what is a formal belt. You know, when I teach students, I have to tell them that a belt with a skull buckle is not formal. But I don't have to tell you what makes a good formal buckle. You already know that. What about shoes now? What shoes are formal? No, black, brown, but what kind of shoes? Leather. Correct. Leather shoes are formal. Now, do we really wear white color pants when we come to college? No. White color pants also get dirty very easily. That's why, the same reason why we should not be wearing white color socks or white color pants. Alright, coming back to your shirt. Are you guys expected to wear a tie? Do you always have to wear a tie when you come to college? Yes? Or is it exceptional, I mean optional? It's compulsory that you wear a tie. Alright, so when you wear a tie, how much should be the length of your tie? What is the reference point? The reference point is always the belt. Right, so where should the length of the tie stand? Should it go below the belt or above it? Exactly, it should be just up to the belt. Even if it stands, let's say some half inch above the belt also is okay. But it should never go completely below the belt. Alright. Now, the color of your tie should never be lighter than the color of your shirt. Right, the color of your tie should not be lighter than the color of your shirt. Or in other words, your tie should be darker than your shirt. That you can wear any kind of tie that you want, but make sure that it's a darker color than your shirt is. Okay. Now, I can see that a lot of you are using, we are teachers, we have to carry around a pen. Where will we keep the pen? In the pocket. Which pocket? Shirt pocket or pant pocket? Which is professional? Shirt pocket. We always have to carry a pen in a shirt pocket. Now I have one question for you. Which is going to look better? A pen with a steel grip pointing out or a pen with a plastic grip pointing out? Definitely one with a steel grip pointing out. See, these are things that we might not even pay attention to. Every day morning we just grab some random pen, we put it in our pocket and we'll just walk off. Right, but just imagine the situation. You're dressed so nicely, you're dressed so impeccably, but there is a plasticky thing that's pointing out of your shirt. That entire charm is lost. So you need to take care of little details like this. So always carry a pen with a steel grip. Alright. Now, how many of you carry a handkerchief? Yes, you are advised to always carry a handkerchief. Because when somebody initiates a handshake and all, some of us, we have this clammy hands. Our palms will always be wet. Like some people have that. So make sure that you always carry your handkerchief. Now even if you are carrying a handkerchief, where will we keep it? Which pocket? Pant pocket. You always have to see. This particular pocket is meant only for pen. Do not put your mobile phone there. Do not put your wallet also there. Put only your pen there. Or if you are really urgent of cash or something, you can put cash or some papers. But please don't make it really bulged. Alright, put everything else in your pants pocket. Okay. Now coming back to hairstyles, I don't even have to comment about hairstyles because all of you are groomed really well. I think this college has this, that clean shaven. I don't think you are supposed to wear beards. No, right? So let's not talk about it. These religious symbols. Right, I guess even the lady trainers also might have some religious symbols on the forehead. They are not formal. See, what is the entire idea of this professional code? Why do code. Why should I wear dark colored shirts? Blah blah blah. Why? But why do we have a code? We have a code so that everybody looks the same. Everybody looks professional. So some people wearing this religious symbols, that's an odd one also. See, I want you to know that it's not against religion. There is nothing, it's not a religious reason at all. But just because it makes a person stand out, that's the reason why we say that it's not professional. Definitely when you come to college, you are entitled to do it. But probably if you go to, let's say if you have to go meet somebody in a corporate setup, if you are sent from this college to some courses where you have to talk to that person for coming to the college about placements and all, try to avoid these religious symbols. And I think some of you would even have this, what do you call it? I don't know what they call it in Tamil. Band, no. This temple, no? From temple we put this, what is it called? In Malayalam it's charitable. I don't know what it is in Okay, same thing. I would suggest that you need not have to take it off because we have one huge advantage. What is it? Full sleeve shirts. We can always cover it up. So you need not have to worry about that also. Then coming to watches. Yes. What are formal watches? Plastic, leather, steel. Which watches are formal? It's exactly like shoes. The most common watches are leather watches. Right. But steel watches are also completely accepted. But make sure that you're not wearing these green-blue color fast-track watch. That alone is not formal. Okay. And your specs. If you're wearing specs, always try to go for these nude colors like dark brown, the blue color specs and all, not formal. Then yeah. See, you carry a wallet around it. All of you might be having a wallet. Usually this is one trend that I've noticed, a lot of people have a very bulge wallet. Right, because they have their wallet stuffed with so many things. All the credit cards, debit cards, email statements, everything, all the cash, and they definitely put it in their back pocket. But when you put that wallet in your back pocket, we come to body language. Just starting with grooming. Any questions on grooming? Anything that I missed? How many things? Yes, I think that's a fairly self-explanatory question. You are not supposed to wear too much jewelry. It applies not just for ladies, it applies for guys also. You're not supposed to wear too much of jewelry. Gold is okay, but make sure that you're not wearing one gold ring in each finger. That alone you take care of. Then somebody said perfume, right? Please. See, basically hair should not be shaggy. That is it. So the reason why I'm not commenting on your hair is, I generally give them, if it was students, I would have given them a lecture on hairstyle only. I could tell them you're not supposed to use gels and spike it up like this. But there are no spikes here. You comb very, very neatly. That's why I'm not commenting on it. Anything else that we missed? Okay, even if you missed something, we'll just come back to it. Shall I move on to the ladies? Alright, I have quite a lot to talk here, that's right. Okay, so luckily I can see that none of you are wearing flowers. Are you wearing? I think generally, see, again, I keep repeating this, when you come to college you can wear flowers. But if you have a very formal meeting or something, please avoid flowers on your hair, alright. And do not empty an entire bucket of oil on your hair that way, because we sweat a lot. So if we have too much oil in our hair, our face itself will become oily. It will not look fresh. Okay. How do you generally tie up your hair? I think majority of you braid it or plait it, right? You can do that. You can tie it up in a proper ponytail, or see, you can tie it in any way that you want. Only one thing you need to take care of is that everything should be hidden behind. Like you should not have to do this. All the time you should not have to do this. That's kind of very distracting for the person who is talking to you. Right? And let's talk about saris now. What saris are formal? Cotton saris are completely formal. What colors? Light colors. See, again, when you go for a proper meeting, try to use some light colors. See, cotton or semi-cotton, anything that flows, not that 40 type sarees. That's it. Alright. And I don't know, I watch very few Tamil movies, but there is one Tamil movie in which Jyotika wears cotton sarees, the formal ones. I don't know which movie that is. It's not recent, it's some years. Yeah. So if you want to really think of a professional type of saree, think of Jyotika and that movie. That is professional. Look how neatly she's tying her hair and all that, right? Proper cotton sarees and stuff. And earrings. Dangling earrings or hanging earrings are not professional. Studs are professional. Now if you have more than 2 to 3 piercings also, when you go for a proper meeting, try to take it off. Alright. Then no too much makeup. None of you are wearing too much makeup. So you're all good only. Again, jewelry. That applies to you as well. Because we generally have a tendency to wear more jewelry than the guys. So keep your jewelry to minimum. Then these green, blue, electric nail polish. Like one nail polish in one nail and all. Please don't do it. What kind of chappals are you used to wearing? I mean, do you generally wear heels or flats? Definitely, as teachers, we prefer flats because we walk around a lot, we talk, we stand a lot, most importantly. So when you're wearing flats, try to go for these leather, black or brown colored or nude shades of flats. White flats are also formal, but again they get dirty very quickly. Right? So try to avoid it. Then representing if any particular any doubts. This is okay. Alright, that's good. That is okay. Even if somebody asks us not to do it, we'll do it. That is okay. See, this at least religious and we can avoid. Anything else? Anklet. Again, anklets are not formal because we don't have to announce that we are coming. We don't have to make that jill sound when we walk. They know that we are coming. We don't have to announce it. So anklets are not formal. Take it off. Without sound, it's okay because they would not even know. Right? That's okay, ma'am. That's okay. Then, how many of you have the habit of biting nails? Anybody here who bite nails? No one. That is okay. See, because when you bite nails, see if you have a proper meeting or networking thing like that, at least 1 week before it, try not to bite your nails because your nails will look presentable. And also, when you go for that meeting, when you are into waiting room or something like that, whenever we get nervous, we bite our nails. People who bite the nails understand that. It's not something that we do deliberately. Now, I personally do not have anything against biting nails. But the problem is, biting nails is a 2-step process. First step is biting it. What's the second step? Eating. I wanted to say spitting it out, but you. Oh my god, no. The second step is usually spitting it out, right? Because I've seen it in one interview hall in there, one meeting hall, one kid, his turn was next. So he's all nervous, he's fidgety, he's biting, spitting, he's even forgetting that there's somebody sitting next to him. Right, so that was a horrible sight to watch. So please stop biting nails. Okay, anything else? Grooming part, I think we are done with, right? Any other doubts, ma'am? Bangles, one or two bangles maximum. What should be this side, ma'am? See, you can wear watch in either of these hands. Alright, it's completely okay. But when wearing a watch, make sure that the dial is facing outwards. Some people have the dial inwards. That is not professional. Alright. So always the dial should always be outwards. We'll keep thinking about it. Something pops up in your mind, ask me in between the class also. We'll talk about it. Now let's talk about body language. It's in fact even more important than grooming. Now I'll start with basic stuff. Right? See, somebody entering a class. Okay, time. Right now you have a meeting with your HOD. Okay, you have to enter into your place. Pick one answer. What is for everything there is a right way to do. How many times? Exactly 2 times. You have to knock twice. Now how should you knock? With the back of your knuckles. You should not bang it like this. It should always be the back of your knuckles and you have to knock twice. Now, if you knock too softly, they will not hear it. And if you bang on the door also, that again is a bad thing. So knock properly twice. Can you just knock, all of you? Yeah. That is not a knock. Alright, so knock twice and properly with the right pressure. Alright, so again, why do we have to knock? Why can't we just open the door and say, may I come in or something like that? Exactly, why it's not polite, but why is it not polite? Exactly, see, what if you just open the door and that guy is tucking in his shirt? That's embarrassing for both of us, right? It's not professional at all. See, knocking is a clue that we are about to open the door. Once you knock, you have the freedom to open it. Right? But knocking is giving them a clue that somebody is going to open the door and look inside. Right? So knock twice and you open the door, and then what do? So first you have to be inside. See, I know I am asking you these very, very silly questions because I have seen people do dumb things. What they do is they'll open the door, they put only the head inside and peek in. That again is not professional. When you open the door, take one step forward. Do not be completely inside the door also, because you have not got permission from him to come inside. So open the door, just take one step inward and please look. And then what do you say? Should you say excuse me? Should you say may I come in, sir? What should you say? See, actually it depends on the situation. When do we generally say excuse me? When we are interrupting someone. Like when somebody is doing something else and when we are interrupting them, we say excuse me. But I would say that if you have a meeting scheduled with somebody and if he is expecting you, please don't say excuse me, because think logically, that guy is waiting there. His only job is to take your interview. So you're not interrupting him. In situations like that, you can say, may I come in, sir? However, if you're just quickly barging into somebody's office for something very urgent, you need to say excuse me, because they might be doing something else, right? So always use your logic first before you speak. Alright, so you say, may I come in, and then you walk inside. Good. Now, how do you walk? See, I think more often than not, we will always have something to carry in our hand. Let's say some file or something. Okay, I'll just take this file. I have this file. Now, which hand should I keep the file? Left or right? Which hand? We should always carry the file in our left hand. Why? Exactly. Because the person whom we are going to meet might extend his hand. Right. So we always have to be ready for a handshake. Even if they do not give us a hand also, we always have to be ready for the handshake. That is why we are keeping the file in our left hand. Now when we keep the file in our left hand, how should I do it? Ladies, do not do it like this. Do not keep it like this. They are used to holding it like this, but please don't do it. How should you keep it? You can keep it like this or you can hold it like this. Everything is okay. Now we have got inside the cabin. We have the file in our left hand. Yeah. So we need to walk. Right. How? Slowly. I'll call one of you. Okay, I've done enough talking. One of you please come and walk. Any volunteers here or we can point? Thank you, sir. Okay, now assume that he is the principal. Alright. Now you are coming into the cabin and then you have to reach him. walk was perfect. Now one thing I noticed is that he was very confident to initiate a handshake. Right? But I would say that on the safe side, if you do not know that person or if he is superior, we have a rule that says that it's always a superior who has the right to initiate a handshake. It's always superior who can initiate the handshake. But definitely if you know that person well, even if it's a superior, then you can be confident you can initiate it. But in other general setups, if that person is superior, wait for him to give you the hand. Alright, and also one thing, when you are meeting a woman, whether they are superior or junior, they should always initiate it. Unless and until they initiate it, you should not give shake to a woman. Now, ladies, worst case scenario, if you're meeting with somebody and there's a guy and he is initiating a handshake, please don't do this. Okay? Because, first of all, nothing will happen if you shake hands with a male. Right? So forget about it. Right? You need to take his hand. Otherwise, both of you will be embarrassed. Even if you're not personally comfortable shaking a guy's hand, you have to give him his hand. Please don't embarrass. It's not professional. And alright, so we have reached there, we have shaken hands. Yeah. So how do you shake hands? How many times? How many times? Exactly twice. Now, one of you give me a handshake. Okay, that's slow actually. That's a little slow. See, when you shake hands, no, you have to shake it from your elbow, like this. You should not shake only the palm part of it. You have to shake it from your elbow. But do not shake it like this also. Okay. Could you all of you could just shake hands? Give each other a handshake. Exactly 2 times. That's a good handshake. See, all of you, shake hands. Give me a handshake. Good. See, you should not crush that person's hand also, but it should not be too, we call this a wet fish handshake. When it's too light, we call it a wet fish. So the general thumb rule is that this part, no, it's called the web. This part is called the web. So web of our hand and the web of that guy's hand has to touch. That is how it should be. It should not be partly here or partly here. It should be completely here. All of you shake hands one more time, touching the web. Okay. And you shake exactly twice. Okay. So we have shaken hands and all that, and then yeah. So that person is asking, he'll ask us to sit down. You may take your seat. What do you do when he says that? Should I say thank you and then sit down? Or should I say sit down, should I sit down first and then say thank you?
Before going to say thank you.
Right. After you sit down, you say thank you. Do not say thank you and then sit down. After you sit down, you make yourself comfortable and then you say thank you. That is a professional way. Alright. Now, where will we keep our file? Where? First of all, how do you sit? No, if you're going to meet somebody, how do you sit? All of you sit properly? Okay, all of you. Okay, yeah. Chappal hai, chappal okay, you are sitting nicely only. Only rule is that we should not cross our legs and sit. That's the only rule. Actually, the problem is in Western countries and all, females are supposed to cross the legs and sit because it's comfortable for us that way. But in India, if you cross your legs and sit, they say that it's not respectful. So let's not offend anybody. You should not cross your legs and sit. And do not keep rejecting with your leg also. Always playing your leg here and there. And yeah. So coming back to the question here, file. Where would you keep the file? Can you just directly keep it on his table? Why? Because the table is whose property? That guy's property. There is something called a personal space. You should not cross a personal space in professionalism, right? It's even said that when you talk to a random person, when you talk to even to your colleague, there should be exactly 3 feet of distance between you. That too much of you cannot occupy somebody's personal space. So when you go inside and when you sit down, please do not put the resume, not the resume, the file on his table without his permission. Keep it on your lap. But if you really have to keep it on the table, ask him for the permission. So may I take some space to keep it? Be polite, ask a lot of please, thank yous and all that. And when he gives you permission, say thank you. Thank you also. Okay. And when you sit down also, do not drag your chair. Make that much of noise. Be polite, lift it up a bit without making much noise and sit down. And I think I forgot to mention about your shoes. Right, as in shoes should be polished every day. And please avoid these. I've seen some people wear these Maharaja type pointed formal shoes. It will be tapered in the end, which is not professional. But I think all of you are wearing the other normal. Please, some of the shoes are polished. Because we have to walk in this road. Yeah, and I completely understand. Okay. Alright, so I think we have any other doubts that you generally have? The same, no separate rule for ladies and gentlemen. But if you're, see, when you shake hands with the queen and all that, you'll have to take a hand like this. See, for example, if I am the queen, you'll have to take my hand like this. Like this. It cannot be normal. The queen, because the queen always has the upper hand. That's why her hands will always be here. This is how we should be. But we are not going to be queen, so don't worry about it. Eye contact, how can we interact? How do you generally talk to your colleagues? Eye to eye, right? But the problem is, eye to eye means it's generally face. You cannot keep looking at somebody's eyes all the time. They think you're crazy. So basically, make sure that you look at their face. But somewhere around here, see, this part is very safe. The moment you start looking down, they'll feel that you're perverted because you cannot look at somebody's lips and speak. That's very, very bad. The other person will be very uncomfortable. Right? So anything about this is okay. Anything else, sir? Any doubts? These are the things that I majorly wanted to tell you. Grooming and handshake, standing, walking, and all that stuff. Okay, no issues. When we again, if something pops up in our mind, we'll deal with that on the spot. Okay, so it's 11 o'clock, 11:10 you have a break. So before you go for a break, I thought it was 10:10 break. Okay, I need your not key bags. How many of you have written your name here? All of you? Fill out your attendance sheet. And I give you one more sheet. That is all. Everybody has written. valid question. When gents know, you generally put your hands in your pocket. But while you're speaking and all that, first of all, you should not keep your hands like this when you speak. Because when you keep your hands like this, it shows that you don't want to have this conversation. You're putting a barrier between, right? So it shows that you're being defensive. An open palm shows receptiveness. You need to do all this. You need to use your hands. Do not use it widely, also use it naturally, normally. And do not always put your hands in your pocket when you're speaking. It again shows that you're not interested in that conversation. By an interview, anyway you will be sitting here. So again, see, you can keep your hands like this or in your palm, but you have to use it a little while. And explaining, you can use your hands like that. Generally, when you articulate. Sitting gently, we keep our, we keep it like this. That usually guys do it like this. We always sit like this. No, we have this. We sit like that. That's it. See, when you generally take class, no, how long is the class? The normal duration of the class? 50 minutes. Right. When did we start taking class? Around 9:30 or 8:30 minutes. I'll just ask this question. What is the general attention span of the student? How long can somebody listen to you? Maximum 10 to 15 minutes. Then not, which means if you have a 50 minutes class, only the first 10-20 minutes will be productive. That is why it's very important that we give breaks in between. Even if you think that I'm taking an awesome class, everybody is listening also, you have to give breaks in between. Because generally, if I take one class of 50 minutes, you know where the student concentrates the maximum. During the beginning and during the end. During the beginning. In fact, during the end also they will listen. Because in any given lecture, whatever is said at the beginning and whatever is said at the end, they will remember. It's the in-between stuff that they keep forgetting. So think logically, when you give breaks, what happens? Every time you give a break, the next session starts, they'll remember the beginning and the end. That more things they're able to remember. So you need to give breaks in between. We'll talk about all that later, class handling and all. Only these many people are there, or is there any other faculty member who is yet to come? Maths. Answer with your name. Like, generally also when somebody calls you, you should not take the phone and say, yeah, tell me, yes. What is the first word that should come out of your mouth? Hello. Hello is the first word that you should not even say hi. You should always say hello. Right. Now, what if you're calling someone? What should you say? Hello, good morning, or when you say good morning, make sure that it's morning. Alright. Or hello, good morning or good afternoon. My name, I'm Sita calling from Vail Tech Engineering College. May I speak to whoever that you are calling? And always, the moment you call someone, after you do your introduction, first, before you even start telling them why you are calling, please ask them, sir, is it the right time to talk? Are you free to talk now? That's the most polite way to start a conversation. Are you free to talk right now? When you reach a doorway at the same time as another person, the following rules apply. Whoever arrives first should open it and hold it for those who are following. We never see this in India. Right? Even if we go to a lift also, we try to enter a lift, they will always press it. They will never wait for us. Please wait for somebody to come hold the door. You can always do this also. Always open the door for someone of either sex if that person has his or her hands full. This also, by existing an elevator. Elevator is nothing but a lift. Lift is British English, elevator is American English. Alright. When you are exiting an elevator and a more senior person is towards the back, always exit first. I've seen some people do it. Sir, you go first. After you, sir. Don't do that. If you are closer to the door, you get out first. You need not even have to look back. It's an elevator, not a meeting place or anything. Like, exit the door and walk away. You have just heard a co-worker in the cubicle next to yours speak rudely to a client on the phone. How do you have separate cubicles here, or is it like a proper staff room? Proper staff room where everybody gets their own desk to sit. Oh, alright. And you've heard some rudely to a client on the phone. You should respect your co-worker's privacy and refrain from commenting. How to introduce yourself? Handshake left to it. Wait, we've seen that. Cubicle courtesies. Avoid loud phone conversations. Do not wear strong perfume. Do not eat smelly food. Now see, even if you have to eat food in your place, make sure that you dispose of the food in a waste bin. See, there might be a waste bin next to you also, but please don't put it there because that will stink up the entire room. So even if you have to eat the food in your bay, make sure that once you've eaten it, take it and put it away, put it outside the room. Business cards. You have business cards? No, right? Skip it. Email etiquette also we don't need.
Double click. Which screen?